Hello everybody, welcome back to Easy Weeknight Cooking with Heart's Desire Spice Blends, and tonight we've got yet another really easy recipe using our brand new blend, Garam Masala. Now this stuff is so beautiful and I am absolutely loving it. It has been so long since I've made it and I've got all the reasons now to make a lot of recipes. So what are we doing tonight? We are doing masala roasted chicken. And I gave you a preview last week of what this stuff looks like, what the basic recipe is. But tonight I'm going to show you how to do this. And trust me, you don't get much simpler. So what are we going to need? We're going to need about 2.5 pounds of chicken legs or pieces of chicken that are similarly sized to each other. Now the cooking time will be less or more depending on how big these pieces are. 1.5 tablespoons of garam masala, 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I love that stuff, it's so fruity. And an optional 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Now kosher salt is less salty and has less sodium than normal salt. Plus, I love the fact that you can see it when you're putting it in your recipe. What are we going to be needing here beyond this? We're going to be needing some sort of a sheet pan with a wire rack on it. Now, I really like to make sure that this sheet pan is covered in tinfoil. That way, there is not nearly as much mess to clean up. And as I said last week, I don't like cleaning dishes. Go figure, I love to cook. So, what else are we going to need? We're going to need your 2 to 2.5 pounds of chicken put onto your wire rack in a way that there's a good amount of room in between them, because we're going to need that room when it goes in the oven so that we get some good browning on all sides. And your oven should be turned to 450 degrees. So the chicken can go aside for just right now. Meanwhile, we're going to be needing our garam masala. And check this out. I decided to get serious about my masala, and this is now going to be living in my pantry, and this size is going to be living in my pantry on a regular basis. Now these are our new large jars. They're available on our website if you're like me and you're serious about your spice. We've got our olive oil, so let's go ahead and put in our 1.5 tablespoons of garam masala. We're going to need a bowl about yay big. Now, of course, you're going to adjust this recipe to the amount of chicken that you have. So that is 1 tablespoon and 1/2 tablespoon. Close that puppy back up. And we're going to need 3 tablespoons of olive oil. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now, obviously, with a little bit of thought, we can say, okay, we've got twice as much olive oil as we do garam masala in any of this. And so next thing we're going to do is I'm going to get me a little less than a teaspoon of kosher salt, because I don't like things terribly salty, but sometimes it just needs a little bit, right? And grab yourself a fork and mix this up. That is nicely mixed. And next thing you're going to need is some sort of a basting brush. You can use one of the silicone ones. You can use one of these. It really kind of depends on you. You're going to bring your chicken over and start basting your chicken really thickly with this beautiful little concoction. Look at that. It goes on rich and dark and just gorgeously. Those spices are just all over it. And just baste it on so that you get good coverage on this, because that's what's going to give just that really gorgeous flavor. When I walked back into the kitchen this afternoon, about halfway through cooking, I'll tell you, I wanted some of that chicken right away. And of course, I wasn't going to be able to have it right away, but I wanted it. So I put my tongs down. I'm going to go get them. Next thing you're going to do is flip these guys over. Keep your spacing between them. You do want to make sure that the hot air from the oven can reach all sides of your chicken. That way it doesn't get soggy. And nothing's worse than soggy chicken that should be, slightly crisp. So you're going to go ahead and brush the other side. get all them spices all over it. Oh, yummy. All over it. And you can kind of use a slapping motion with this if you like, to just kind of encourage the spices to all stick on you. And I'm kind of stirring my spice mixture while I'm picking some up on my basting brush. Yummy, 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 yummy. And we've got one more. Now, when your oven has finished preheating, and this is very important, you don't want these to kind of gradually come up to temperature. You want them to go into the oven and just start cooking. And so once your oven is up to temperature, you're going to put this in and put it in for between 15 and 20 minutes. And then you're going to come back and give them a turn, which I've already done to what's in the oven right now. And I put, I love these things. These are actually for the handles of cast iron, but they do a wonderful job of protecting my hands in other ways and allowing me to just, manipulate things pretty well. So in the oven right now, we have some that has been in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, flipped, and then in the oven for about another 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the size of your chicken pieces. And this, my friends, is really awesome. Absolutely driving me wild whenever I walk into the kitchen and smell this stuff. It's like, oh, gimme the stuff, right? I really do love really great chicken. Seriously, right? Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Now, I temped this and made sure that it was correct at 170 degrees. Now, if it's 1 or 2 degrees under, you can pull it from the oven and put it up on the counter and let it rest. It will continue heating to a certain degree, but you do want to make sure that these are not underdone. Oh my gosh, would you look at this? Oh wow, yum. You can see we've got a nice little crispy like skin on there. It is just absolutely fabulous, and I need to try this. What do you say? The smell is nutty, citrusy, and earthy, and it has, oh my, when I walked in, it smelled like a bakery in here, of all things. It was great. So, how about a taste? This is fabulous. The salt does come through nicely. It's got such a complex flavor. You've got a little bit of sweetness there, but not much. It's just enough to complement the earthiness and the citrusy and nutty flavors of the Garam Masala. And I'm not really tasting any of the peppery notes, but I do know it's there, or else we wouldn't get all of the other flavors going on here. The chicken is so tender. Oh my goodness. And that is part of the roasting process with that really wonderful olive oil. Really helps keep a nice, moist, and tender chicken. So from our house to yours, that is masala roasted chicken. You can use this technique with any of your favorite spices for just out of this world chicken. So you guys keep things tasty. We will be back next week, and you guys have a great night.